from just stuff that I've done that is, to me, recognizably Mountain Brook. And Anthony is going to play along with some theme music as I read. So this is going to be great. Never happened before. All right, it's called The Men in the Woods. The men who live in the woods behind my house have been getting out of hand for some time. They were all in their mid-50s, golfers formerly, and meat eaters. Jolly men in general. But since their wives had sent them away to live in the woods, they had become grumpy and discontent. At night, they would bellow and howl. They want their televisions and ice makers and chairs beside the vents. They live like animals now in badly made straw huts and eat anything that wanders too close to their turf. We know what's happening to our dogs and cats. But there's nothing we can do. Some of these men are very powerful. All of them belong to the country club. Last night from a window, I saw them leaving the woods and marching single file toward my home. They knocked at the door. "What is it?" I said, staring at their wretchedness through the peephole. "What do you want?" "Your telephone," they said. "We'd like to use your telephone." "That's out of the question," I said. "You can't come in. My wife..." "Your wife," they said. "She won't allow it." "His wife won't allow it," said one of them. "His wife says no," said another. "She must be wonderful." "Really, I bet she is." "She is," I said. "My wife is wonderful." "We knew your father," one of the men said. "You're not your father." Then they went away, grumbling, back into the woods. Later that night, in bed, I told my wife what had happened. "They came here?" she said. She was appalled. "I want you to go down there and tell them not to do that. Tell them never to come here again." "Now?" I said. "It's midnight." "Now," she said. "For me." She kissed me on the cheek. I walked down the little trail which led to the woods behind our house. I saw a light, followed it. The men were cooking squirrel around a fire. They were drinking coffee from old tin cups. They bellowed and wailed, but they seemed to be having a pretty good time. "Hey, fellas," I said, and all the bellowing stopped, and they looked up at me and smiled. "Please don't come to our house anymore, okay?" They looked at each other, then at the fire. "Okay," they said, shrugging their shoulders, "fine." It didn't seem to mean that much to them. All they had wanted was the phone. When I turned to go, I could see my house on the hill above me and watched as one light after another was killed, and it was all darkness. It seemed I could even hear the doors shut and lock as my wife prepared for sleep. My house seemed to disappear into the black sky. "Going away so soon," one of the men said. The fire was bright, warm. "Yeah," said another, "and just when we were getting to know you."
I play for a lot of people eating shrimp, okay, at the coast. So, but to have people that go out of their way to come see this event It's such an unusual event. People were asking me, like, what's going to happen? I don't know.
Who knew?
I don't know. I don't know Daniel. I don't know what his style is, whatever, but it worked.
I got to do this song because when I first went out to California, first time ever out there, I just found a fear of earthquakes. But it was so beautiful out there, and I was working with Neil Young, and I was only 24 years old, and making money. I was traveling, but we stayed out at Neil's ranch, and the trees were huge. They were as big as this room. And I was just thinking about if one fell on me, I couldn't get over that. But I wrote this song because I just love it out there. Life along the San Andreas is beautiful throughout the year. The weather, she remains a constant, 65, and they say that if God had a home, she'd be living there. Standing on the cliffs above the ocean, the view along the one will take your breath. To turn around and see the golden rolling hills, where the eagles and the redwoods make their nest. Even though sometimes she may get angry, break a dish, shake a tree, crack the road, it's a small price to pay for heaven on earth, San Andreas. San Andreas, all blind. San Andreas, all blind. Now the tiny little town of Pescadero, where the seeds of plenty grow with great success. And there's the old post at San Gregorio. It was the last stop on the Pony Express. Even though sometimes she may get angry, break a dish, shake a tree, crack the road, it's a small price to pay for heaven on earth, San Andreas. San Andreas, fall line. San Andreas, fall line. Even though sometimes she may get angry, break a dish, shake a tree, crack the road, it's a small price to pay for heaven on earth, San Andreas. San Andreas, fall line. San Andreas, fall line. Thank you so much.
In my mind, I don't really know how to talk to people at that level, especially when it's a small crowd, an intimate crowd. It's way more difficult than if you're playing to thousands of people. It's they're right there, and and I just don't think that highly of myself. So, I mean, it was,
Well, you just highlighted the big difference between a writer and a musician. For me, that was a huge crowd.
yeah.
That was huge.
Well,
they looked like seas and seas of people going out into infinity. Whereas to this guy, it's like
you know, even when you're singing to this like paltry little crowd where nobody is there, I mean, nobody basically is there, but it's different for me.
Well,
to me, I was stunned by the numbers.